Good morning. Good morning. Happy to slay, everybody, and welcome to the Slay to Success Talk Show. My name is Rochelle, Slay or Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I am a professional keynote speaker, an author of several books, as well as an executive presence strategist, personal brand expert, if you will, along with a United States Air Force veteran. All right, serving 30 years. My prayers go out to all that are standing watch and the families during this tumultuous time right now. Please, y'all, extend your prayers to them because I understand and know fully well of what is happening, what is going on. So here on the Rise and Slay Show, we talk about all the things: personal branding, executive presence, style, presence, power, okay, if you will. And we start with the word slay. Slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. Is also an acronym that stands for Universal Life and Leadership Philosophies that really resonate with me. And it's part of the slay framework, if you will. And that is stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, and knowing you are built to last. So as you come on in, please give us your name, where you're streaming in from, so that way I can give you a shout out because you decided to be here for just a little bit to hear about our topic for today, which is authority loves systems. We're going to talk about systems, okay? Because sometimes people are like, how do you get everything done? Like, how do you show up the way that you do? You have a particular schedule or routine. I'm like, yeah, I built systems because what happens is the daily grind, our lives get ahead of us, and some of the goals that we are trying to accomplish may not get met because we haven't really created a system. And because I served in the military for a very long time, there were opportunities for me to serve in high visibility, high stakes positions, such as first sergeant, inspector general team, and command chief at Ellsworth Air Force Base. So all these titles or whatnot, for those that are not affiliated with the military, those required a lot of responsibility, holding people accountable, looking out for the health and welfare of many people. And so I had to show up. Okay, I had to fully show up and be present. So I created systems. So let's just talk about what authority is and the signals of authority. Because sometimes people are like, I don't even understand what you're speaking about. I'm not quite sure if I even have it. So I wrote down a few things that came to mind when I think about authority. And authority means to me that people look to you before you speak. All right. They are asking for your opinion. They want to know your insight. They change their tone when they come up to you. All right. They understand that you have the wisdom, you have the substance, you have the depth. And so they are seeking that on a regular basis. Grand rising to you too, Madame. How you doing? Thank you so much for being here live with me this morning, as you always are. I appreciate you, love you for that. So we're talking about how authority loves systems. So I just covered one thing where people look to you before you even speak. One of the other things is that you're making decisions without asking anyone for permission. I think so many times when I see people like, well, I got to go ask, or I'm not quite sure. I've got to get approval, or I'm seeking someone else's feedback, right? When you know the answer and you know the outcome to the answer. So people are making decisions without asking for permission when they're in the authority arena. Also, we see systems, okay? We see systems where others see chaos. All right. Hey, Chevy, good morning, Queen, and happy to slay to you. Thank you so much for tuning in on the LinkedIn side. So I've got Leslie on the YouTube, you on the LinkedIn, just waiting for somebody on the Facebook side to, hold it down for this platform. So thank you so much, Queen, for being here with me this morning. All right. So we see systems where others see chaos. All right. We create something to handle. We see things 3 steps, maybe even 5 steps ahead. And so we're already in the planning mode. We're already thinking about, well, how can we countersuit that? Right. Now, again, these are based on what my experiences have been, not only in the military, but now as a CEO of Slay to Success. um, I understand what authority is, and I am sharing with you signals of authority. The other one is people respect you for your boundaries. All right. They respect you for your boundaries. They don't try to cross over them, they don't challenge them. They understand where you're at and the value that you have. And they really want you to stay in your gifting, in your talents, in your performance, if you will. So they don't do anything to compromise that. All right. So they respect you for your boundaries. And then you're not threatened by other strong people. All right. That's when you know you have authority. When you can invite others to the table that are high achieving, they are high performing, and they're at the same level or even a little bit ahead of you, and you're like, you know what, it's okay to have people around me that are as strong as I am or even stronger. All right. And so those are the signals. Again, people look to you before you speak. You're making decisions without asking people for permission. You see systems where other people see chaos. People respect your boundaries, and you're not threatened by other strong people. All right. Now, with all that being said, let's go over here and talk about these systems. So, I created systems for everything that I have going on in my life. Everything. I started to do that when I was a first sergeant. And a first sergeant in the Air Force is basically helping people in any arena of their life. And it's more on the personal side so that they could be ready to do the mission. All right. So that can look anywhere from going to the hospital when someone has a baby, checking in on the family, making sure they have everything that they need, to unfortunately tragic where someone passes away, someone's killed in action, there is an accident or whatnot. It's a pendulum swing. One day you may be at the high and very much a happy and joyous moment, and then the next day or the next minute you have to be able to go into more of the sorrow and the very deep emotional aspects. And so as a first sergeant, I had to create systems for myself so that way I could handle the pressure. High stakes, high visibility. I was one of three people on this particular command team. And then we made sure that the unit, which units were basically between 300 to maybe 1,000 people, make sure that we are doing our job and meeting the mission. So the systems that I had to build for myself was, how am I going to show up? First things first, all right, I knew that I needed to move my body. The way that I think and process information is through movement. When I can get clarity about what I'm doing and really have a solid foundation for the day, I perform much better. All right. I think much more clearer. I respond quicker. I'm focused. All right. So that's what I chose to do. So within the system of working out, I push a button. All right. Now, I used to create workouts for myself, and I would spend lots of time. I used to teach group fitness classes. So I have pages and pages of choreographed routines. That takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of effort. When I became a first sergeant, I knew that I couldn't do that anymore. So I started to use apps. I started to use, YouTube videos, so that all I had to do was touch a button. So now I have Peloton. All right. It's an app, it's a system. All I got to do is push a button. and any workout I just do. That eliminates decision fatigue. Too many of us have so many things that we have to think about when you're in high visibility, high stakes roles where we have to think all day, every day. We're probably making over 1,000 decisions before 9 a.m. every morning. All right. So, in order for us to perform in a better way, we got to create systems. So, that's number one. All right. I created a system about how I do all this. And I say do all this, like how do I get dressed, right? So my wardrobe is extensive because I do a lot of things through my life. The system of my wardrobe is I have items that I can choose from options when I go to AJ's basketball games. I have options when I go to networking events. I have options when I go to church. I have options when I go to speak. I have options when I go and travel. Okay. There, it's a systemized process. So when I go into my closet, all I'm doing is picking from the area for where I'm going. All right. Again, it eliminates fatigue. I can just go in there and do, but I created a system for myself. All right. And too many times people are wasting a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of brain power trying to figure it out. And when we're in high visibility, high stakes roles, the last thing that we want to be doing is winging it. All right. That is not what we're doing. You've been thinking since 5 a.m. Lindsay, hey, Queen, I see you on the Facebook side. Okay. She says she loves systems, right? They can save us from a lot of heartache. I have system for meals. We meal prep on Sundays. Dominique, he grills or he makes a lot of meat. All we got to do is come up with the sides. And the sides for me are simple. I don't go into elaborate, meal preps or anything like that. We lead busy lives. So we need something that's very simple. All right. I make a couple of sides and voila, we are done. Okay. I have a system for when I'm doing my business. All right. I have a system for building my brand. Everyone needs to have a system or ways that they go about doing that they can be consistent, it's repeatable, and it is producing outcomes, real outcomes. Because what we're trying to do is create real impact. All right. So get into the system. Authority loves systems. All right. Now, I was in the military for 30 years. It was a system. I thrived in the Air Force. I got to the highest enlisted grade, serving in the highest enlisted position on an installation. It is a system. All right. I navigated in a system that was not designed for me to succeed. Why? Because I truly believe when you get to the bottom of it until you really peel that onion back, we can all come up with how we got to where we've been. And it's all been about processes, systems, and routines. And we got to build and create the right ones. All right. Now I got my other iPad over here because I got my notes, y'all. Okay. Because I don't want us to get too far away from the conversation. So we are trying to eliminate stress, fatigue, and inconsistent image and messaging. All right. Inconsistent image and messaging. I see this all the time. One day, someone shows up ready to go, fully present, energized, feeling, like they can take on the world. Then the next day they show up looking a hot mess. And I'm like, well, what happened between yesterday and today? All right. Life is always happening. There's always things that are hard, they're difficult, they're most challenging. How do you get through that? Some people have been asking me about my journey and the transition that I made from the Air Force to where I'm at right now. And they're in awe, right? They're shocked to even hear how much progress I have made and how my transition was a lot more smoother than others. Well, when you decide, you make a decision of where you want to go and who do you want to become and where do you want to position yourself at, things become a lot easier. And the unnecessary, okay, there's unnecessary distractions out here. I don't even hear them. All right. I'm only focusing on what my goals are. And so we have to make sure we're not scrambling around. All right. We're showing up strategically every single time. And that takes some thought. Okay. We have to stop what we're doing and we have to create a system for it, implement the system, take the action, see what the outcomes are, tweak just a little bit, and get back after it. The space that I'm operating right now, what I'm operating in is more of the visibility. All right. When people call me, when they want to partner with me or when they call me to come and speak, they want me to speak about executive presence. And executive presence is how you show up, how you carry yourself, how you visually present, because we've gotten away with, oh, okay, what we've been doing is good enough. It's probably not. We're living in a digital age right now where people can look you up. All right. We're not, looking at resumes all day. We're just taking a look. We Google you and we figure out like what is going on. All right. And if you are doing the work, the branding work, okay, because some people's brands, everybody got a brand, okay? Some people's brands are dormant, okay? They have plateaued. They've stayed stagnant. They're not building. I'm building a brand that I feel like is going to go and take me to a lot more places than where I've been going before, because I have just been showing up and deliberately and intentionally looking at my appearance, body language, communication skills, and my digital presence, and making sure that they are consistent. All right. So let's talk about systemizing your style. Now, everybody has a different style, a different vibe, a different presence, or whatnot. And a lot of people, they will, text me and ask me, hey, how do I like figure out what my style it is, what is my, my personal brand, and it's a lot. I mean, it takes some time. We start with you, okay? With you, what's the story? Okay, what is the background? What are you trying to present to the world? These things you have to be thinking about. So when it came to my style, I didn't want to trend chase. Okay. I didn't want to look at what everybody else was doing. I don't look at the mannequins that are at the store and then go to that and go, you know what? I want to buy that outfit and I'm going to put it on and I'm going to go and rock that. All right. No, I'm not overthinking. All right. I'm showing up most powerfully in the way that I can. I'm recognizable and I'm consistent. All right. When I have my back turned, someone will come up to me at an event or out in public and say, are you Slay or Slay Queen? Whichever one. I've seen you. You're actually one of my connections on LinkedIn. That's when you know you're doing things right. All right. So you have to be able to show up over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. One or two times is not going to get it. It's not going to get it. Okay. Because people can watch anybody. They can stop and talk. This world is so fast paced right now. Preach. And we have to decide who we want to become. Absolutely. And you have to be so convicted in it, Chevy, that nothing is going to get in the way of you getting there. Nothing. Okay. Because once you believe it, other people will start to believe it too. Right. That's when you create a movement. Right now, this is right now is the beginnings of Slay Nation. Slay Nation are just high performing, high achieving, high visibility, high stakes. They know what it means, all right, to really put themselves out there, okay, and then be able to stand out for the right reasons. Okay, yeah, I'm preaching a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so when it comes to our inventory, right? And here I'm still talking about style because that's one of the elements of the Rise and Slay show. um, we have to really be tracking what we have, what works, all right, what elevates our presence. There's no more last minute disasters. Okay, no more last minute disasters. When we say we ain't got nothing to wear, or what we wear didn't work, or the buttons were popping off, or there were stains on the shirt, or anything like that, we not ready. We not ready. We have not taken time to really think about like what we want to do when it comes to our style and our vibe and presence. None of us want to be showing up half. Okay? You know what I want to say? No one wants to be showing up like that. So you've got to think about, how can I avoid last minute disasters? Because you never know who's watching. All right. Now, I have image habits. I have appointments for my hair and my nails, and they're on a routine. Okay. This is something that I found to be true when I was still in uniform. I knew that the spotlight was on me. And so I knew how often I should go get my hair done. And at the time, I was getting my hair relaxed. So for all those that, we're in the relaxed phase of our lives, I knew how often I needed to get my hair relaxed. All right. I knew how often I needed to go and get my nails done so they didn't look raggedy and they didn't look chipped off. And, and I knew that those appointments needed to be standing appointments. That is the same way that I'm doing now. I just got my hair done yesterday. Okay. Now it's a 3-week rotation, 3 to 4 weeks. And it sometimes depends on where I'm going, because there's nothing like, not showing up as put together as you like to because you missed an appointment. Hey Kim, how you doing? I see you listening in on the Facebook side. Hey Danielle, my cousin, my beautiful cousin from Indiana. She is on Facebook too. So thank you so much, Queens, for showing up, okay, and listening in. You do show up powerful, Queen. Yes. Well, thank you, Queen. And it has taken time. This has not been an overnight. As you know, the journey from me being obese as a child and then getting to where I'm at right now has been a process. And it has been the inner work more than the outer work. So we've got to invest time into that. So I do the daily grooming. I do the posture checks. All right. I have presence rituals. These are tiny systems that compound over time into magnetic authority. Okay. Magnetic authority. You want to attract people. You are not trying to repel people. So you got to be mindful of what you're doing within these systems that you're creating for yourself. Are they working? Yes or no? If they're not, we need to adjust. So authority loves systems, like I said before, but systems don't end with style. Okay. Now, presence is your stage. You have to have consistent messaging. So I talked about that before. Know your voice, know your tone, know your values, and repeat them relentlessly. All right. You need energy management. So I haven't really talked through this before, I think, on any of the other shows. Danielle said, hey, keep on preaching. Okay. Energy management. All right. What is your sleep hygiene right now? What is your nutrition? What's your fitness? All right. Your physical systems affect your aura. All right. When I decided to, work out every day, and I eat at least one salad a day. That is something that I've done for a very long time. In fact, AJ had a school project when he was younger, and it was, all about your mom. I think it was for Mother's Day. And one of the questions was, what's your mom's favorite food? And AJ put salad. I was like, yes, okay, I'll take that because that's true, right? But for what I want to do and how I want to show up, I want to feel good. I go to bed between 9:30 and 10:30. It just depends, okay? It just depends on what is happening, what I'm working on. But I want to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I feel my best when I do that. Like when I come up on the show, I'm energized because I'm like, I got sleep, I got my exercise in, I'm ready. All right. So we want to continue to show up like that. So we got to create frameworks, all right, for our businesses, for our careers, for our communications, for our branding. So our power isn't diluted by overthinking. We don't want to be overthinking and overanalyzing, and we don't want to have analysis paralysis, okay, where we stop because we are overwhelmed, okay, overwhelmed with too much information. So we don't want to become reactive. All right. So we have to create systems. So the systems that we create, let's make sure, okay, that they are in alignment with building authority. All right. So when I say again that authority is how people look to you before you speak, how you make decisions without asking for permission. You see systems where others people see chaos, and people respect your boundaries, and you're not threatened by other strong people. All right. So that is the show for today, the Rise and Slay show. Please let me know your thoughts. Please let me know which system, okay, which system is the best one that has been working for you so far, and maybe which system do you need a little bit of of insight to. I'm not trying to fix nobody, okay? I don't believe that any of us need to be fixed. It is a matter of looking into what is the next elevation. All right? We're trying to elevate our image. This is why I wrote this book, y'all. Okay? This personal guidebook. We are trying to elevate our image. We're not trying to dilute it. We're not trying to minimize. We're not trying to shrink ourselves. Because the moment that we do that, we will find ourselves in a lockbox. Nobody wants to be in a lockbox. All right. We have a lot of things that we are responsible for. We have a lot of things that people come to us about. We need to make sure that we're doing it well thought out, intentionally, deliberately, confidently, and most importantly, powerfully. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. So let's look on the Facebook side. We had Lindsay, Kim, Danielle on the Facebook side. Thank you so much, Queens, for holding it down over there. And then on YouTube, we had Leslie. And then on LinkedIn, we had Chevy. So thank you so much, Queens, for showing up this morning. And give yourself a round of applause because not everybody going to show up for themselves, especially in today's world. There's a lot going on. So keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. Have an amazing, amazing week. Okay. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.